Welcome back, gang, to week 5 of From the Ground Up series. I'm on a mission to rewire the food industry to create a future for us where we can produce, provide and buy good quality sustainable food. To achieve that, I'm starting with 3 main things. One is a proof of concept, a small holding, a farm, where we've got laying hens, where we've only got about 350 at the moment. Our goal is to get up to 650, maybe 1,000 depending on how we get on. And then we've got a small herd of miniature Aberdeen Angus, which are Australian lowlines, who are for beef. And then second, I've been developing a social media presence. It's gone reasonably well over on TikTok, and now I'm trying to branch out a little bit and try and get a bit more substance to it. We do Come Collect Eggs With Me videos over there, which people seem to enjoy, and we're starting again soon. And then finally, I'm building a platform which allows producers, providers, services and consumers to all connect together in a standardised way. That's probably the biggest uphill struggle I've got to go yet, but it's the bit I'm most excited about. Let's jump in. I'll update you on all those 3 things. Let's see what I've been up to this week. So I spent the end of the last week in Norway skiing, which I was incredibly fortunate enough to be taken away by my cousins, which was a great privilege, but not the most amazing feeling to be paid for by someone else, especially when I used to be able to afford to do that kind of stuff myself. But it was great fun. I was terrified I was going to injure myself, but I didn't. Got quite a few nice runs in. We went Hafjall in Norway. It's not the biggest slope in the world, but there's quite a variety of slopes over there, and it's reasonably well pisted. So that was good. Absolutely stunning views as well. To the farm, the biggest problem I've got is I've got issues with chickens is pecking, and so I've got 2. I've got one in my chest here, but for whatever reason they're going for each other's vents, and I don't know how to stop it. I've lost 3 birds in the last 3 days. I don't know if it's because it suddenly got brighter again. This one in here has been attacked and then recovered. So she's got scabs, but they're picking at the scabs this morning. So. The black cotton morans, which normally they're like Sussex. I'll show you the rescue pen in a second. Where are you? You see, this one has got a scab on her back end. Right. Current survivors. And there are 2 additional ones. As you can see, predominantly like Sussex, and then she operated yesterday. It's getting a little bit out. Yeah, and since that this morning, I've then found another half a dozen this evening, with blood on their vents. And I don't know what's causing it. I don't know why it suddenly triggered it. What causes it is boredom. It also could be a lack of protein as well, which could be linked to us stopping giving them mixed corn, but they get fed a whole feed, which should be an entire feed and should cover everything. So theoretically, they should be getting the right proteins in the right orders. As you saw there, the medicine bay is pretty full at the moment, so much so that I'm now having to just spray the birds in L2 with wound spray and leave them out there, which isn't ideal. But they're not going to get any benefit coming in if there's too many inside. So I'll bring the worst ones in, which I have, and then leave the others out there to fend for themselves. We're still feeding them the carrots and things in the veg boxes. We're just bringing some more out. There's a chicken in here. There's nice veg in there. That'll go on the floor. But we've got these barbecue racks which we fill with the carrots and things. All of which I would hope to try and distract them from attacking each other. Also moved around some of the nest boxes as well. There's less hens in here, but I don't know, they're just bored. Definitely really ready for them to be out again now. We've got the cockerels coming in this week as well, which is only going to make it worse, but we need to get the next batch of hens on. So we split a load of hens out into B2 as well. And then we have all the Leghorns, the brown Leghorns and the light Sussex, and noisy lot. There's something so satisfying about having same breed altogether. Cockerel's moved out here with them as well. He was getting a bit beaten up, and they're a lovely lot. But they're just making They have got that head shape, and the head shape usually means they've got some sort of mite, which is a bit disconcerting. We have got some pecking issues in here as well. But this lot have been laying their little socks out. I think there's about 36 of them in here, and they lay about 26 eggs a day. Just laying well, so that works really well for them. This lot lay loads more in here than they did in the other house, and the other house are laying as many eggs without them. So I'm getting a lot of eggs each day at the moment. You see, the brown Nagorns are beautiful. I do love the brown Nagorns. They're not good big flock birds, so I think we're going to have a breeding flock. We've got a couple of boys in the cockerel pen, and the same with the light Sussex. Absolutely love light Sussex. They're just hopeless in a big flock, and they don't really lay me lots of eggs. Do you? No. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this lot, because this is our brooder house. So this is where the babies should be, really. And so I'm short on houses. But I think it was important for me to get them out, and it's worked well, although we are still losing birds in L2, so it's still a stressful environment for L2. This lot are happier, I'm happier. There's now another house to look after as well, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that, because I think the reason why we want to have breeding flocks alongside the laying flocks is I can get the same price per egg as I can get for a box of 6 eggs for laying hens. So it's worthwhile. However, it takes up a lot of space to do it, because obviously you need to separate the hens and the cockerels, and then, yeah. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do. Breeding business alongside, and produce flocks for myself and also other local producers, which I've yet to find anyone willing, but that's the goal. Because of supply and demand. I'm supplying and there's no demand. I've got eggs coming out my ears now. I collected 153 eggs this afternoon, which, considering we were bouncing around 130 before I split them up, is extraordinary. So the splits really helped from that point of view. It's not helped from the pecking point of view, which I thought it would, which is a bit frustrating. We are still in lockdown. The cases have definitely slowed down, and there's a lot of quarantines being lifted. However, I don't see lockdown being lifted anytime soon. I'm optimistic for March, but it could still remain for goodness knows how long. So I could really do with us not being locked down now. It's starting to really grate on me. It's starting to grate on the hens. If I don't get this pecking issue into control, it's going to be real hard work. So we've got to move those cockerels, which is going to be hard work with that many birds in the hen house. But we need to get some eggs into the incubator if we're going to have, especially if I'm going to struggle getting the next flock in. I still haven't found the flock to replace the flock that I've lost, so I still need 300 birds in March time. So yeah, that's a challenge that I have not resolved yet, and been distracted doing other stuff. Rightfully so, because it's not a priority right now, but it will be a priority suddenly if I don't sort it out soon. The cattle are going okay. We still got a sick cow. Standing up now, but we're just about to take her temperature to see how she's doing this morning, because she is running hot and breathing pretty heavily. We got the vet out last week, which is not ideal for us because we don't have a local vet, so it costs us a fortune every time they do come out, but they are quite good. However, they couldn't tell us anything wrong with her. We've given her painkillers, and we've injected her with various nutrients and minerals, so hopefully she'll be okay. But that was a while ago now, so she's just not bouncing back as much as I'd like. She is in calf, the vet confirmed, but that doesn't actually, for her health, it's not really necessarily the greatest thing. I'm seeing the neighbour tomorrow morning. She messaged me this afternoon to go and plan the fencing for the field. Now, I would like to fence the whole thing, but I can quite understand. I'd imagine they don't want to, but I'm going to see what their appetite is. But I'd like to fence the perimeter of the whole field, and then we can hay it or graze it. It was previously fenced for horses, and so the centre of it is kind of fenced, and then the rest of it isn't. It was quite a baffling choice at the time, but I know that they're interested in fencing it, refencing it, because it is falling down. So I'm meeting neighbours tomorrow morning to go through that. I've been back out fencing, so I started on the fence down the side of the house, which I finished this afternoon. I'm really pleased with how that's done. I'm no expert fencer, but it seems to be doing the job. And I'm really enjoying that. My next job is the whole length of that lane there on that left-hand side, which is a bit daunting, but trying to get that done and also the platform is a daunting task. It doesn't all have to be done this winter, but I'd like to get it all done this winter. Money remains to be tight. I just paid for the next lot of feed this afternoon from Moles, and that with a bit of cow feed, so 50 sacks and a bit of cow food came to £505, which is beyond the month's earnings. So I really need to start pushing sales of eggs. We've got loads left over, just because loads of smalls, and I haven't had time to win new customers. So part of the social media stuff I'm going to do this month is trying to find another way of selling them. We've still got rats around the place. Tui was telling me today that she was ripping hay out of the bales, that there's rats in the hay stack. I couldn't find any, but they will definitely be in there. It's not as bad as it was last year. I spend a lot of money on the rat man at the moment, it seems. Feels like more money than I'd signed up for initially. Feels like a lot of visits. Might check that out. To keep the rats at bay, but there is a lot. I'm also poisoning them, which I'm not a fan of, but I can't really see an alternative right now. The reason I don't like poisoning them is you get second-hand poisoning through birds of prey like owls, buzzards, kites, eating the rats that are poisoned and then getting poisoned themselves, which is not good. Right, moving on to socials. I'm starting Come Collect Eggs With Me again tomorrow, which, to be honest with you, with L2 and the struggles I'm having in there, I'm not buzzed about. And I haven't done it for so long, it's going to take me a while to get back into the swing of things. I also just want to be better at it. Like, the videos I do, they work really well and people like the consistency of them. I would just like to be better at putting them together, to film in the right shots that make them a bit more engaging and just get a bit more of an interaction. I'm very fortunate to get the interaction I do. Like I get minimum 10,000 views a day at the moment, or was before Christmas, which is extraordinary, right? But I would just like to get that snowball effect a little bit more, just so we can start getting to the point that we can start pushing the things like platform and getting a bit more, so that I can open the door and go and get a few more connections with other farmers, other places, and then I can go and visit them, and that sort of stuff. The social media stuff is what's going to open those doors and grease the rails, really. I will be able to achieve it. I should be able to achieve it without social media, but I think social media and building a following and interacting with that following and getting people who are interested in what we're doing will help a lot. And also help me move as fast as I believe we need to move if we're going to be able to win market share before the job market is turned on its head with artificial intelligence. So as part of, I think it was like 3 seasons ago now, people sponsored the hens and very generously sponsored to name the hens, and I still have not named them. And now with this L2 thing, I'm put off wanting to name them if they're then going to get eaten 2 days later. So I'm not really sure how to pose that in tomorrow's video. I need to remain more positive. I'm very much heart on my sleeve kind of guy, and when I seem down, everyone like just a bit worried, I think, and it's very kind. Everyone rallies around, but also just going through all the messages of being like, "Are you alright?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So I need to just be a bit more positive, I think, in those videos. There's still no corn tax, which again, I'm not sure how people are going to interact. I'm going to pose and frame the whole thing. I've had good traction with like money. People seem to really like knowing how much I'm making and how much I'm spending and things like that. So I'm going to pose this month around that. We're also going to be hatching chicks and things. So I'm hoping if people see the whole journey top to bottom, they'll get a bit bought in. So I'll do February, March. I'll probably film pretty much consistent, pretty much solid all the way through, which does take it out of me, I must admit, but hopefully should be worth it. Then moving on to the platform. Going reasonably well. I would like to be a bit further along than I am. It's taking me I've done the big chunk of the body, and the last 10-15% is taking me a lot longer than I'd like, and I've still not built the shops, the consumer shops. I need to look into it because I want to be able to build them in a way that merchants can customize them, similar to how Shopify allows you to customize your shops. It won't be as customizable as Shopify, but I would like it for merchants be able to add that little bit of a spin to it. At least it'll definitely be able to add their branding and logos and things like that. It's just how much they can customize it and write in it and things like that. I need to do some research. I haven't got that far. UI is not my forte. Not that any of it is, but I've spent most time building the API and stuff like that, so I know more about that. I'm also still undecided on Groundswell. I've had a very generous offer from one of the people that I'm going to work with in the future on the platform to potentially go and do it with them. But I'm just undecided if I'm going to be able to get my money's worth. And actually, it would be better to go and socialise, go and be at Groundswell this year, start making some contacts. It's not my forte. I'm all right in the social situations, but I'm pants at like socialising and wandering around and talking to people and like making new contacts. And that's why I need to surround myself with people that are good at that kind of stuff. So I just need to find those people who I've definitely found a couple already, and then they can help me and I can springboard off them and build those relationships. So I don't need to meet everyone at Groundswell. I just need to meet the right people that share the vision that I've got, and then we can work together. Because like I really want this to be collaborative. It needs to make money, because if it doesn't make money, it's not sustainable. But the thing for me is I want to help as many people as you can in the space, and so I want to be as cheap as I can. And to achieve that, I need a lot of collaboration and I need people working with me. I really want to then collaborate and spread the work so that people can really own their sections of it. But whatever it takes to get this as far as wide over the next 2 years as we can, because I genuinely think we're in a real rush here because of how the industry, not only the industry and how farming is being affected by all sorts of changes in policy, but also how the job market is going to be unrecognisable, I think, in 12, maybe 18 months. Not necessarily in a bad way, and like I'm actually all for AI. It's an inevitability that I've got comfortable with, but it is going to change. I'm going to do a video at some point, which I need to be disciplined about without me rambling, all about what I think the sort of 3 or 4 scenarios are going to be, what the outcomes are going to be, and how food production is going to fit into them. But ultimately, for me, I think we need to decentralise food production, spread it out so that we can spread profits, so we can spread communities and avoid the big boys who are already sweeping up cash, getting control of the food sector. But yeah, that's a problem for a different day. It's a problem for my everyday, but not for this video. Right, we're on 22 minutes. Let's see how much future me can edit this down. If you're still here, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.